Many of us walk through life confined by an invisible prison. We are guarded by an internal voice that constantly criticizes our actions, monitors our behavior, and suppresses our natural, spontaneous aliveness. Psychologists identify this internal guard as the superego. The superego is the part of a person's mind that acts as a self-critical conscience, reflecting rigid social standards learned from parents and teachers during childhood. It masquerades as your true moral compass, using guilt and shame to keep you in line. In his book Soul Without Shame, author Byron Brown explores how this judge operates. More importantly, he provides a practical guide to liberating your mind from this continuous internal attack. Over the next 5 minutes, we are going to learn a foundational 4-step method to actively disengage from this judge. Before we begin, we need to set the stage. Pause this video, find a quiet space where you will not be interrupted, and bring to mind a recent memory where you felt heavily self-critical. Simply recognizing that this internal dynamic occurs is your first step out of the illusion. You are not your self-judgments. Seeing the separation between who you are and what the judge says is where actual psychological recovery begins. Step 1 is to recognize the judge. Right now, listen actively to your current inner dialogue. You are scanning your thoughts for demanding, rigid, or shaming language. This voice often mimics a harsh authority figure. It might sound something like this. "What has been your problem lately anyway, Sue? You know you are eating too late." When you recognize that tone, stop and mentally label it. Explicitly tell yourself, that is the judge. This specific action separates the critical voice from your actual identity. Step 2, track your body and energy. Your mind and your physical body are linked. The inner judge always leaves a physical footprint when it attacks. Scan your body right now for sudden tension or restlessness. Pay close attention to your chest, stomach, and shoulders. If your response becomes overwhelming, you must explicitly stop. Give yourself permission to take a break. Exposing the judge's mental voice and tracking its physical footprint proves a crucial point. This internal critic is a measurable, separate entity. Because you can observe it, you can learn to control it. Step 3 is to return to the present moment. Brown identifies this as the central practice of the entire methodology. Do not argue or defend yourself against its attacks. Instead, drop the debate completely and ground your attention in your immediate physical surroundings. Looking at your present environment with openness and allowing disrupts the attack. It breaks the habitual pattern of your familiar, judged identity. Step 4 is to call upon a soul quality. You cannot simply delete a structure that has directed your behavior for years. You must actively replace its rigid rules with a better resource. Brown calls these replacement resources flavors of presence. They are inherent human qualities, including awareness, personal will, acceptance, strength, joy, curiosity, compassion, spaciousness, value, and peace. Look at this list and actively choose just one to focus on right now. Breathe that chosen quality into your current situation. You might use compassion to tenderize your heart toward your own frustration, or use curiosity to simply appreciate the mystery of your experience without evaluating it. By actively replacing judgment with presence, you turn anxiety and confinement into spaciousness and ease. You begin to experience yourself as a dynamic, living soul. If you walked through those 4 steps, you might notice a subtle shift in your state right now, a transition from tension to a small taste of ease. However, true maturation and the recovery of your soul is a lifelong journey. It requires patience and persistence. The judge will return. When it does, you must actively practice this 4-step disengagement again to slowly build up your internal defenses over time. You will likely find yourself judging your own judgment. When this happens, give yourself grace. You are dismantling an old, deeply ingrained survival structure. Ultimately, this work replaces your internalized authority with a spontaneous, living conscience based on truth. To deepen your understanding of your own psychic reality, I encourage you to read the full text. It provides detailed exercises and practices to help you at every stage of this process. True freedom is not found in external success. It is built through the deliberate, daily practice of choosing your own presence over the punishing voice of the inner critic.